That works. Yeah. Greetings, superb people. This is Lanita coming to you live from our garden space. I am going to be doing a video today that's going to be talking about sharing with you how to share the wealth of wellness. The mission for the Me Operate Dinner Tables Academy is about sharing with the people what I have done over the years that has gotten me to this point in life where I've gone from being an urban bred being, meaning I came from urban land, like in the city, and I transitioned myself to be a gardener and how that was actually possible. Yesterday, I did a Black farmers market. Yes, it's February. They were honoring Black farmers at this market. It was at the Cowabunga Bay parking lot on the Galleria Drive in Henderson, Nevada. This is outside of Las Vegas. What the purpose of the event obviously was to honor Black farmers markets, but for me, I wanted to change up my demographic. Normally, I'm here in Cedar City doing the farmers market. I've been here for 3 years, and I learned how to do farming in a greenhouse in the winter time. So a big part of what I do is about gardening and farming and doing stuff outside when the weather is colder. However, I have also become really good at doing this farming or gardening in the spring and summer times. What I learned from my apprenticeship as a farmer is it's more about creating the proper environment for whatever plant that you are nurturing and attempting to grow. Before I get too deep into that, I would like to point out that, like I said, I came from the city. One of the things that they don't teach us in city areas is how to grow things or farming or gardening, because there's usually a lack of land to do this on. What I am experiencing in my transition was that I was always capable of doing this, but there was no resources that were disciplined enough to share this information. There were teachers, and I was a part of the FAA when I was in high school, which is the Future Farmer, FFA, Future Farmers of America. I was not aware that that's where I was going with it. I ended up being in the club uh, by default because I worked in the flower shop at the high school. So they put me into the Future Farmers of America photo at the end of the year because I worked in the flower shop, and obviously flowers is something you grow. And flowers are things that farmers use to help with the land because they bring in pollinators to help pollinate your vegetables and flowers. I decided to get into all of this after having I guess I call it the incident. And this incident occurred when I was working a corporate job in Las Vegas. I was doing hotel security. For about a year's span of time, I had been having these stomach pains and abdominal pains. No one could explain them. Of course, I didn't really expect anyone to explain it. But when I went to go see doctors, I went to see 3 different doctors, and I got 3 different answers about what is actually going on with me. And at the end of the day, none of them actually explained to me what was really going on, which I didn't find out till about 2 or 3 years after this incident occurred. The incident that occurred caused me to ultimately be terminated from my job. I ended up being homeless. I lost my car. I didn't have any friends around me. I was living out of a storage bin or a storage unit, and I was riding a bicycle. And I was still dealing with this digestive situation of stabbing pain and this deteriorating health at the time. What I ended up doing one day when I was riding the bicycle to the library, because I was going to go, online and look for jobs. I had noticed there was a secondhand bookstore that I would pass when I was en route to the library. And I do enjoy the library, not just going to apply for jobs, but I like looking at books and reading books and then using the information and knowledge I learn. So when I noticed this secondhand bookstore, I went inside with the intention to just look for something that will help me. There's something I need because I kept noticing this bookstore. So I'm going to go in this bookstore. Now keep in mind, I didn't have any income coming in at the time because I wasn't working. I got terminated because my employer fired me because my doctor that prescribed me some meds didn't complete the paperwork saying that it was the meds that caused me to change my personality, which they were not happy with as far as being security. Basically, I turned into a hermit. I didn't want to be around people. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I didn't want to socialize. If you know me, that's not really me. So the medicine that I was on, that was like the side effect, but the doctor didn't want to own up to her prescribing it to me. So the employer fired me. They knew that it was the meds, but because they couldn't get the doctor to fill out the paperwork, that was what they say they could do. So I went ahead and I just accepted being terminated, which, like I said, got me to the bicycle situation and being living out of the storage unit. So I go into the bookstore, I parked the bike. And I'm just kind of walking around, not looking for anything specific. The bookstore people, oh, you looking for something specific? I said, no, I'm just kind of looking, it's my first time in here. And I got attracted to this one book that had like, it had some shapes on it, some geometric shapes. And when I picked it up, the cover had geometric shapes. When I picked it up, it said Ayurvedic healing. And I was like, I don't know what that is, So I opened the book and kind of thumb through it, and it was talking about how you can use these herbs to heal different like ailments and things like a cold or a cough or female issues or things going on with your brain or constipation or just kind of basic things and symptoms that people have when they're not feeling well. And I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty cool. So I continued to read through it a little bit more. And I was so interested in what this book was telling me that I had missed my bus because I was riding the bike to catch the bus to get closer into town to the library I wanted to get to. So I missed the bus. I was like, okay, well, no big deal. I'll just catch the next one. So I just continued looking through the book. And I thought, well, I want this, let me see if there's anything else. So I peeked around the corner and looked a little bit more, and there was this other book that had like water crystals and snowflakes on it. I looked at it and I thumbed through it, and it was talking about how water has memory and can be affected by the environment that it's been exposed to. So I was like, wow, this is really interesting too, huh? Then I had the dilemma. I only had $5, and each of these books were $5. So I walked around with both of the books in one hand, one in the left, one in the right, until I could decide which one to get. And ultimately, I came back to the first one I picked up because I thought, this is the first one I picked up. And I already know that these herbs are doing things because I've been drinking herbal tea or starting to drink herbal tea as a regular thing in my life. So I decided to put the book about the water down, which would resurface at some other point, and I got the book called Ayurvedic Healing. This book became my savior. I lived by this book and in fact, I still do. I'm not going to say for the next, this book became my savior. I took the knowledge in this book and made it my life because it got rid of the stabbing abdominal pain that I had experienced. It got rid of headaches. It got rid of joint pain. I was able to eliminate any kind of ill symptom that was causing me trouble at the time. And thus, I've not needed to seek a doctor other than a dentist, which is a little bit of a different situation as far as your health goes. I have not needed to visit any more doctors since those last three gave me that information. And what that led me on to was I realized, well, hey, if I can do this with the herbs, I wonder if the food will help me. And that's when I started to dig in deep to the food. Now, if you are able to go and get your favorite food right now, I want you to go and get your favorite snack, your favorite treat, your favorite whatever it is, and I want you to go get that and bring it to your attention right now. So I'm going to give you a moment, and while I give you a moment, I'm going to breathe for really deeply, because it's just going to take you a minute. It doesn't matter if it's exactly what you need. Just go and get your favorite snack, even if it's like a box of macaroni and cheese or something, or a can of whatever. Just go and get it. Okay. Could be a candy bar, a bag of chips, ice cream, anything. Just go and get your favorite treat or snack or something that you enjoy eating. And make sure it's still in the package. It's still wrapped up in the packaging. That's the key. And then I'll explain why I had you do this. So I'm gonna give you about 5 more seconds, and I'm going to begin. I want you to take your favorite snack or your treat and think about why it is that you enjoy it. What is it that you like about it? Why is it your favorite thing? And take that thought of why it's your favorite thing and think about why you actually chose this to be your favorite thing. Is there something that happened in your childhood? Did someone else introduce this snack or item to you? Were you going through a bad time when you started eating it for the first time and it's like a comfort food? Whatever it is, just think about that for a minute. And think about how it makes you feel when you eat this snack now. How it makes you feel now, not back then, how it makes you feel now. And now that you are thinking about how it makes you feel now, compare that to the first experience you had when you were ever eating this snack or this treat or this favorite food. Do those feelings connect? Is it the same feeling now that it was when you originally had this food or this snack? What I want you to do now, if it's the same feeling, ask yourself, does this really fit my lifestyle right now? Is this really something that I need to eat or consume? And if it doesn't fit, why? What has changed? Now, I want you to look at the ingredients on your packaging, your label, or your wrapper. Look at the ingredients. I want you to read every single ingredient to yourself out loud. Read it out loud, whether you can pronounce it properly or not. Read it out loud, each of the ingredients. And then when you get to something that is, when you get to an ingredient that's not a real thing, I want you to take your phone, if you're able to, and I want you to go and do a search. Go do a search on what that ingredient is. Something that's like for instance, if it says apple, no, we know what an apple is. If it says something else, like for instance, natural flavors, I want you to go and put that into the search real quick and just go search it. And don't do anything with the search, just search it, because you're gonna fill into this after we're done with the call, because we got about 6 more minutes. I'm going to talk to you. So you got the search there. Now I said don't look at it right now, so go ahead and click. Just make sure it stays there so you can come back to it after we're done with this video. Think about that ingredient, and like I said, if it's like a natural flavor, so what exactly is a natural flavor? And don't go off of what someone's told you. I want you to actually tell me what is a natural flavor. And if there's some other ingredient that you came up with that's not like an obvious ingredient, what is that? What is it? Why is this ingredient in your favorite snack? What's its purpose? Is it there for flavoring? Is it there because it's part of the taste? Is it there because it's a preservative or it's a food coloring additive? What is its purpose? And if it wasn't for the fact that it was either of those things I just mentioned, would the taste or the flavor or its purpose be hindered if that ingredient was not there? Like, do you really need this ingredient to be in your food? Some people are aware of this. Are you aware that originally bread only had like 3 ingredients? It was just like flour, water, and yeast or something like that. I believe that's actually 3 ingredients. That was the original. But if you look up what's in bread now, there's like 50 ingredients. Why? That's the question for you. Why is it not just basic ingredients? What are these other ingredients that you don't know what their purpose is? What are they doing in your food or your snack? And most importantly, what are they doing to you if it's not like something that's nutritious and of value to your body? Because that's the purpose of eating food. This is what the Ayurvedic healing book was teaching me. When I was seeking the information about why I was unhealthy, the book was explaining to me that I was eating things that was causing imbalance and disruption in my system. Now, your assignment is, after we get off this call, I got about 3 minutes to go, or 4 minutes. After we get off of this video, when you're done with this, you're going to go back to your search of your ingredient that you did not know what it is. And you're going to go through 5 to 7 different links, not the ads, the links that actually say something about this ingredient and what it is. You're going to take that information, you're going to open up the pages 5 to 7. And then even if you have to go to a second or a third Google search page, you're going to take those pages and you're going to read all of the information about whatever this ingredient is from each of these sources. And then I want you to compare the information from these sources and see if these sources can explain to you that very question. Why is this ingredient in your food? What's its purpose? Is it actually there for a nutritional value, or is it there for some other reason? And the point behind this is that you may be consuming something that could be causing harm to your body just because someone else wants it to be a preservative or a color additive. Now, why would it have to affect the color of something if there's no point to having it in there other than for color? Is it really worth it to you? Do you really need this in your favorite snack or treat? Remember, the labels, you're going to open up, different websites, and you're going to read all of it. And then you're going to compare each of those sources to see who's copying or who's saying the same thing. And then your final part to this assignment, this exercise, is you are going to do this for every ingredient in your favorite snack. When you're done with this, I want you to do a journal entry or a video explaining what you learned about these ingredients in your favorite snack. And then you're going to determine, do you really want to keep eating this favorite snack? We're going to find out what's important to you when you get this information. That is a step or task number 1 for the Me Operate Dinner Tables Academy. I am Lanita. You have been here joining me with our GuarDinner Space. This is series video number 1. And this is all about the season. We're getting you prepared for the season. I thank you for joining me. Tune in or come back and join me next week in March, the first Sunday in March, when we go to the next task, and make sure you have that assignment completed. Do your search on the ingredients that you don't know what they are, or all of them, and then compare that and then decide whether you want to continue eating your favorite snack. Much love and appreciation. This will take you on to further why I became a GuarDinner. I will continue with that story next time. Much love and appreciation. Thank you for joining me. This is Lanita. Check out the website, meoperateDinnerTables.com, and also the product line Superb Blends, SUPHERB LENDZ. Thank you.